All right, so this is the Inkjecta Flite Nano, the light version. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles that you get on the normal Inkjecta Nano, which are kind of unnecessary. It's like you get like an LED light on the center and some cool rubber bumpers on the side, which doesn't really do anything to your tattoos, so I just got the light version. The box was a little bit scratched, but nothing damaged with the machine. It was just, yeah, on the inside of the box, so that's cool. So yeah, when I open it, first thing I noticed is that this is really light. You know, this is only, according to the website, 62 grams or 2.2 ounces, and it feels like nothing. You know, it's so light in your hand, which is really cool. I love how it's got this part where the RCA cord goes in. It's tilted out on an angle, so if you're still rocking a clip cord, you know, it's going to sit really nice in your hand. So I'll just put a bar on it real quick just to show you. Yeah, it's really comfortable, and you can barely feel that it's there. It's almost the disposable grip is almost as heavy as the machine, it feels like. But yeah, it's super light, and it's really good. You know, because the cord sort of comes out at an angle. The old ones used to come out straight, which was didn't sort of feel the best when it was attached to your hand. Sorry, when it was sitting on your hand. Well, as well, if you get the disposable battery packs, that'll come out the top really nicely. It'll almost be like a pen machine, which is really cool. Cool. So on top of that, it's got the vice grip. I love how in the old ones as well, you used to have like a little knob on the top, whereas this one you just kind of rotate the end and it will tighten up on the grip. It's got a cool little cover on the top as well, which is really nice, just because, you know, it protects the cam from getting stuff on it. It's pretty secure too. Yeah, I do remember a lot of artists complaining that this used to sit really loosely on top, but it looks like they've fixed that and it's nice and tight. I also love how they've got the, you can see on the cam, it's got 3.25 millimeters. It's really easy to kind of tell what kind of cam you're using, whereas in the old ones, they used to only have just those dots on the gold part, and you would have to kind of use that to sort of see what cam you're using. Yeah, having it written on the top I think is way better. The stroke as well, so yeah, it only comes with a 3.25 millimeter stroke, but what you can do, if you purchase these separately, you can get a bunch of other sizes to adjust your stroke. The cams, I think it's like 50 bucks or something, you get like a bunch of other cams, but yeah, that makes this machine really versatile, so you can turn it into a liner, a shader, a packer, anything that you really need, which is really cool. And another thing that I think this also comes separately as well, but I just threw them in. So with the machine come 3 different torsion bars, right? So this machine isn't just it's not a direct drive. You can get a direct drive bar and that will turn into a direct drive machine, but I don't like to do that because it kind of gives it too much kick. The one that it comes with is like a semi-rigid bar, which I think I really like as well, how it kind of bulbs out at the end, because if it's sort of too thin, then it rattles around when it's inside the grip, whereas when it's nice and kind of thick, yeah, you can see that it basically covers most of the hole underneath, which means it's not going to rattle around a ton when you're tattooing, which is really good. So if you do, I think these torsion bars are like 20 bucks. Highly recommend getting these as well if you purchase the Inkjecta. So it comes with 3 different thicknesses. The fat one is like the sort of the strongest one, and then you kind of have like a medium and then a really light one. Little Allen key plus a spare screw, which is really comes in handy because they're so easy to lose. Nice little rubber kind of case. It also comes here with like a little card. Yeah, these are all the different stroke lengths you can get. You can get 2.5, a 3, 3.25, 3, and a 4. So that's really cool. So it makes the machine super versatile. So, you know, you can turn it into whatever you need. It even has the recommended voltages to use. Again, I probably wouldn't, these volts are pretty high. I wouldn't start off with 18 volts, definitely not. If I was kind of lining, I'd probably do like a 9. Then when shading, I'd probably do like a 10 or 11. But yeah, I wouldn't go up to 18 volts because that'd be pretty crazy. And yeah, once you open the package, you get kind of like a little guide. Tells you how to set it up, tells you how to use the torsion bars, which is really awesome. So yeah, the way that you have your torsion bars rotated on the machine, you can have a soft alignment, a medium alignment, or a hard alignment. So each one of these torsion bars, depending on how you put it into the machine, yeah, so if you have it set up like that, that's the softest torsion that you can get for that bar. If you have it slightly to an angle, it's medium. And then if you have it fully horizontal where the lines are facing up, then that's kind of the hardest tension setting. So each one of these bars has 3 tension settings. Yeah, then you can have the stroke anything from a 3 to a 3.25, 3.5, and a 4. So that means that, you know, there's literally hundreds, probably even thousands of different combinations that you can set up this machine. So you can use it to hit pretty much almost anything, which is why I love it so much. Before I got one of these, I had an Inkjecta V2 Flite, and I'd use that my entire career. And every tattoo I was just able to adjust it. And this machine's kind of the same thing. It's just a bit more, it's nice and light. You can also run it a lot lower on volts. So the old injectors, you know, the V2 Flites that I had, they wouldn't run on anything less than a 7. But yeah, these ones, That's at a 10.7. It's going all the way down to 9, 8. Yeah, we're at 6 volts now. 5 volts. Yeah, that's on 4 volts and it's still running. You'd probably never even have to put it on 4 volts, but the machine can go so much lower than what the old ones used to, which is really cool. So if you're doing something that's super delicate on a shin, or you want to do like some really delicate shading on a portrait or something like that, really useful to be able to take the machine voltage down that low. I love that, it's super versatile. You can turn it into a direct drive machine. You can add a bit of give to it, which is awesome. There's so many different customizations. The only downside of that though is when you've got so much choice about how you set up your machine, it can kind of freak you out a bit, because like if you're halfway through a tattoo and maybe you feel a bit uncomfortable, it might kind of get inside your head a bit. It's like, oh, is this the right, have I got this machine at the right settings for the part of the body that I'm tattooing, or is this the right settings for this tattoo, and things like that. So it can take a bit of getting used to, but yeah, if you get one of these, you can use it for pretty much everything: lining, packing, and shading. It is a bit of a pain to adjust the stroke length because you do have to use a tool. So you just unscrew the brass bit there. This is a bit difficult to take off the cam too. So they are a bit stiff to take off the cams, which is fine, but it's cool. We've got like nice little pattern and stuff on the inside there, which is awesome. But yeah, then you can kind of change your stroke, set it up however you like. So I'll just kind of give you an idea of how it runs as well. So once we've got the cam on, just screw it back up. Now, it also comes with some inox lubricant, which is definitely need that. This will make your machine a lot more quiet when you're running it. So just before you turn the machine on, you want to put a little bit of lubricant inside the grip, and that will make it a lot quieter when you're running it. So yeah, just to give you an idea of how it sounds once you've got it all set up. I love how quiet this machine is. This is so silent compared to some of the other machines that I've used that are really loud. This is like, you can barely even hear that, which is really awesome. Okay, so I've got that on a 9, which is probably what I would use for lining. Then once, but yeah, you can hear that super quiet. There's nothing worse when you get a machine, you can kind of hear that sort of grinding noise, like it's just sort of rattling around the tube. You can kind of see how it's got like this bit that expands in the middle. In the past, these machines didn't have that, and so that kind of stabilizes it inside the grip, so it doesn't kind of rattle around, and which can also, if the bar's constantly rattling around, so if it's rattling around at the end, it can kind of cause the needle at the tip to wobble, which can really make it difficult to get clean solid lines. But yeah, this sort of round in the middle stabilizes inside the grip, which I really like. So I'm going to have a go at this machine. I'm going to do some lining, some shading, and some packing. I'll let you know how it kind of goes, and I'll show you the end result. So now that we've had a look at it out of the box, and we're going to see how it lines a simple rose piece, and just rated on how it lines, how it shades, basically just kind of how it handles. Cool, so that's the outline done. So yeah, I love how the Flite Nano outlines. It is a bit difficult to push in a 14 round liner. It takes a bit of getting used to. So if you're used to tattooing and you want to get a Flite, I'd recommend staying sort of a 9 liner and below, just to kind of get these thicker lines. It'll be a lot easier. Yeah, I love how you can adjust the give in it. So if you do sort of push, then it has like a bit of give, so it's not going to rip up the skin or anything like that. But yeah, handles really well. Lines are in nice and solid. So yeah, all around good liner. All right, so we're just going to put some blacks in now, and then after that we'll lay in the color. Cool, so that's the blacks. Hits real soft. Yeah, no trouble putting the blacks in, so that was great. But yeah, so far so good. Next up, we'll do the color. All right, so we're just going to start shading now.